Well, folks, there's absolutely no way that I was going to do my recordings today and not mention old Gene there, old Gene Hackman. Absolutely no way at all. Not just because it's the biggest thing in the news today, but because I, for one, absolutely loved Hackman as an actor. I really, really did. I'm not just saying that now because the fella's died. I've said for years and years and years he's one of the greatest actors there's ever been. He's right at the top of the tree, or should I say he was. I loved him, folks. I really did. I've wondered over the last 2 or 3 years what's happened to him because he'd gone into obscurity. I've seen and heard nothing of him. I didn't realise it's been 2004 since he last acted. 20 years. Didn't realise it at all. Didn't realise that at the time, or just thereafter, he'd said he was retired from acting. I'm very shocked. I was even more shocked today to read. I think he's 95. I couldn't believe it. I've seen the latest pictures and God, he looked frail. Really, really frail. You can barely tell that it's Hackman in the bulk of them. And then when I read it, I'm thinking, I'm not surprised he's not alive anymore. He was near enough death on them. I'm thinking, when they said the recent pictures, they're from a week or two ago. They were from a year ago. He looked awful a year ago. So God knows how he's lasted till 95. He didn't look a well person at all. But what an actor. What an absolutely brilliant actor. They say no foul play, so nobody's murdered him or murdered them because his wife and dog have sadly passed. I thought to myself, because you always jump to conclusions, it's a suicide, have they shot one another or whatever, has he shot her, killed her, and then, because she's 30 years younger than him, you wouldn't think she'd want to be in a suicide pact, but you think all these things, and then I read later today his daughter says it could be carbon monoxide. Then I'm also reading there's a lot of pills found near his wife, and you don't know what's what. Not that that matters, but no doubt in the coming days we're going to hear more. I'm also reading that they were that reclusive, they weren't going out. I believe he's been pictured once or twice in 12 months, that the bodies are decomposing and is it mummifying, I think I'm reading, which is all really, really, really sad. I do know it's his second wife, but he's been with her for about 20 or 30 years. I believe his first wife he had 3 kiddies with, and I'm thinking, well, for all he was reclusive, had he fallen out with the children? Because I wouldn't have thought so. Have they not been visiting him? I think it's a worker in the area that's found the bodies, which is just really sad. I mean, that's the story on him, but going back to him as an actor, I just loved him. Thought he was absolutely great. You know, Unforgiven, fantastic. Runaway Jury, loved him in that, loved him in others. Really loved him in Mississippi Burning. I thought he was brilliant in that, but I loved the film. Just a brilliant actor, one of the best of all time. I would say, I mean, my 2 favourite actors, one of them certainly isn't the greatest actor in the world. He's not with us anymore. One of them still is. Very, very old now, but a lot better actor than people give him credit for. That'd be Mr. Eastwood. But I would suggest probably from the golden age of cinema, the golden age, which probably in the main for me would be a bit before Gene Hackman's time, the greatest actor I ever saw, and he wasn't my favourite actor, but I just know how great he was probably Spencer Tracy. And then from the era after Spencer Tracy, which Hackman would fall in, for me, probably of all male actors out there, I probably feel he's the best actor of the lot. I probably do. In a different and weirdish way, Jack Nicholson was brilliant as well, or is brilliant, but I would say Hackman shades him. Brilliant actor. And then the modern day, I can't think of anyone that I would compare with those two. Probably on a British front, and they don't do that many movies, but I've said it before, Stephen, God, how can I forget his name? I forgot him the other day, it's unbelievable. Stephen Graham. I think Stephen Graham's absolutely sensational. For all I keep forgetting his name, and I don't know why. And Lenny James, I think they're both absolutely brilliant. But they don't do many films, and they're not the big movie stars that Hackman and Spencer Tracy were. But they're in that kind of league for me. I think they're that good, those two. But Hackman in his day, brilliant actor. Wonderful actor. Sadly missed, for all he might not have done anything for many a year, you know. Sadly missed. But then again, the great thing is we've still got that body of work out there. There's loads and loads of work out there. And in the main, it's all really top-notch. It's not good. It's just top-notch. Everything he did was like special, top of the tree. You know, it was just brilliant. So, another one gone, which is really, really sad. But even sadder for me when it's one of the better ones, and he certainly was one of the better ones. He will be missed. He will be missed. There's not many of his ilk, I'll tell you that now. There really isn't. Anyway, Mr. Hackman and Mrs. Hackman, R.I.P. from me.